The 2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament. And one more round to go before the championship here. A game right now and another one tonight. And we will have our championship teams decided here in the State A tournament. Appreciate you joining us here on KYNTV. And my name is Barry Hein. Appreciate you. Special thanks to friends of Brookings Baseball for their accommodations here at Bob Shelden Field in Brookings, allowing us to cover the state tournament. And want to say thanks to the sponsors of the tournament as well: First Bank and Trust, Brookings Auto Mall, and Hampton Inn and Suites. And of course to you for watching here the tournament on KYNTV for the second straight year. I want to say thanks to the crew who's been great to me all week long: Bryce Ladwig, KYNTV Director and Producer; Tell Tanner, Brayden Butler, Austin Kathol, onsite technical operators, and calling games as well here this week. Well, Watertown and Brookings, the two teams here. Watertown post 17 and Brookings post 74 Bandits. Teams not unfamiliar with each other. They play regularly, and these two towns are rivals in almost everything they do. So this is going to be a contentious one, I would imagine. Both teams' intensity is going to be amped up even more than it would be in a semifinal for the state tournament. How did both these teams get here? Well, for Brookings, post 74 rather, they beat post 22 in round one, 5-2, Rapid City, and then they lost 1-0 to Renner in just a tough one. Just a weird game, and they had the bases loaded, and hit by pitch led to the only run scored in that game. And then Renner went on, of course, to drub Watertown last night, which is in a game I don't think most people saw coming as well. But then Brookings beat Brandon Valley 3-0 yesterday to move on to this round. Watertown beat Sioux Falls East 4-2. They beat Harrisburg 3-2, and they lost to Renner again. I think I used the word drub, and it was a drubbing, 10-0. Renner beat Watertown post 17 last night, so Watertown moves over to the losers bracket with Brookings here, and we'll get this one going in just a little bit. We appreciate you joining us. Want to take a second to announce our sponsors as well. First, we'll take a quick look at the bracket. Brookings and Watertown playing here in this loser bracket, and then in the winner bracket, it's going to be Harrisburg Gold and Renner tonight around 7 o'clock. And just depending on if this game goes late or not, but should be able to start on time otherwise. Quick look at the bracket is brought to you by Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton, located next to I-29, a mile from Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium and the SDSU campus, and a 2-minute drive to conventions and events at the Dakota Bank Center. You can start your day with the free hot breakfast, work from your room with free Wi-Fi, and relax in the indoor pool, all at the Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton in Brookings, the official state tournament hotel partner. Also want to say thanks to First Bank and Trust. They are proud to support the 2024 American Legion State Tournament and wish the best of luck to all the competing athletes. Find out how First Bank and Trust helps you bank easier at bankeasy.com or visit them at 520 6th Street in Brookings. We will now join public address announcer Tyler Merriam.
Scoreboard in the third base dugout, Watertown post 17. And the home team in the first base dugout, the Bandits of Brookings post 74. At this time, we'll introduce the batting orders for each team. We ask that they run out to their respective baselines. We begin with the visiting team, Watertown post 17. Leading off and playing third base, number 2, Hayden Reese. Batting second, the left fielder, number 5, Mitch Olson. Batting third, the catcher, number 16, Caden Rylance. Batting cleanup, shortstop, number 23, Nate Briggs. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 15, Nash Berg. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 7, Marcus Rabine. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 14, Talon Juergens. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 9, Trayton Hemerick. Batting ninth, center fielder, number 4, Dylan Rodden. The pitcher, number 12, Will Ingstrom. Bat boy Phoenix Thomas and the rest of Watertown with assistant coaches Nick Geffrey and Travis Schmidt and the head coach of Post 17, Ryan Neal. At this time, let's meet the batting order for the home team on the scoreboard, the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. Leading off and playing left field, number 1, Tate Helmbolt. Batting second, the pitcher, number 12, Breck Hershoff. Batting third, third baseman, number 9, Owen Schneider. The cleanup batter, shortstop, number 11, Zach Struck. Batting fifth, second baseman, number 2, Nolan Miles. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 6, Addison Ronning. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 7, Jack Merritt. Batting eighth, center fielder, number 3, Austin Clark. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 10, Sam Johnson. And the rest of the Bandits with bat boy Camden McMacken and the acting head coach, Alec Johnson. Our umpires for game number 12. Behind the plate, Johnny Kirshner. At first base, Jason Seitz. And at third base, Steve Creer. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise and remove your hats for the reading of the American Legion Code of Sportsmanship, to be followed by the presentation of colors and then the singing of our Star-Spangled Banner. A reminder to please remain standing and honor the color guard until the flags have been retired. Now to recite the American Legion Code of Sportsmanship, a member of the South Dakota State American Legion Athletic Commission, Mr. Randy Miller.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to day 4. More great games in front of us, and it's going to be a lot of passion. So remember, maintain your control, look out for your buddies, play hard. Repeat after me. I will keep the rules. I will keep faith with my teammates. I will keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a stout heart in defeat, keep my pride under in victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. Stand fast.
And now to present the colors, Brookings Hoffman Townsend American Legion, post number 74.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last as gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you.
2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament. Appreciated joining us, and thanks to Tyler Merriam for doing a great job on the public address announcing all week here as well. One more sponsor to thank before we get going here. I want to say thanks to Brookings Auto Mall. Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. They will take anything in on trade and will buy out your lease or loan without penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clear your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of their record inventory. They are always open at brookingsautomall.com. Appreciate you joining us. Moments away from getting started here. It looks like we're going to start a couple minutes late. So we had a 4 o'clock start time. Sometimes in the heat, you get a little sluggish. I think that's what's going on out here at Bob Shelden Field. It has been a beautiful week for baseball, save for Wednesday night when it got a little weird on us. But we have persevered, and overall a great week of baseball here in Brookings, and we will continue that here this afternoon and tonight and tomorrow through the afternoon. Could be a couple of games tomorrow, depending on how that all shakes out. The winner's bracket team wins. That'll be it. Loser's bracket team wins. They'll play another one to decide it. And again, these two teams right here that not a lot of love lost between these two teams, these two towns really close enough together, and always kind of been rivals. They've played 4 times this summer already, and Watertown has taken 3 of those games. They played a doubleheader back on May 28th, and Watertown took both of those, a big one, 14-0 and 7-5 early in the season. And then back on July 17th, they played another doubleheader, and they split that one with Watertown losing the first game, or rather Watertown winning the first game 10-9, and then Brookings winning the second game 9-1. So Brookings did get the last and most recent game they played against each other, and we'll look to ride that wave from back on July 17th if you're looking at it in a very positive light for the Brookings Bandits. I don't know if they're thinking about that as much as I am, but and have something to talk about, right? So for the Brookings Post 74 Bandits, they're going to go on the mound with looks like I think I'm looking at the wrong lineup here. There we go. That's why I was having a hard time. Breck Hershoff is going to be pitching. He's been playing center in most of the games here. I think all the games up until now for Brookings. Yeah, all the games. And he's going to move to the pitcher's mound. He's been doing a great job in the field. He is a tremendous athlete. He's made some big plays out there in the outfield for the Post 74 Bandits. All right, here we go. First batter is stepping into the box, and that is Hayden Reese, the third baseman, trying to get things started here for Watertown. That one is in, for a strike. First pitch of the game, over, and an 0-1 count. Reese went 1-2 and had a walk in the game against Renner. Second pitch, that one is going to be outside for a ball, 1-1, the count. Zach Struck back out there today, playing shortstop for Brookings. And there's a hit to the third base side, and it is going to be gobbled up by Owen Schneider. Makes a nice play over there on the corner, throws it over there for the first out of the ball game to Addison Ronning. And Owen Schneider's played a bit of short and done a good job there as well. With Struck back out there in the field, pitched yesterday. He's going to move over to third. So they're good on that left side of the infield, for sure. Both those guys can cover a lot of ground. They flash the leather. That one is going to be blooped into left, and coming up to make the play is going to be Tate Humboldt. So 2 quick outs here for the Bandits in the top of the first against Watertown.
The catcher, number 16,
that was Mitch Olson, by the way. First pitch is a hit by pitch. And going to be awarded first is Rylance. Caden Rylance. So he'll be over on first base with 2 outs. Nate Briggs stepping to the plate. Went 0 for 2 in that runner loss. And that was 10-0 last night. Hershoff looking in, brings the pitch. Going to be high for a ball. One-0 the count. Pitch, and it's going to be high and well inside and ducking out of the way. Was Nate Briggs. Caden Rylance on first after getting hit. Previous at bat, that one swung on and fouled off to the Watertown dugout. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1 count. That one's going to be off the mark. 3-1 the count. Three-1 the count from Hershoff, and that one hit sharply down the left field line. Going to be foul, though. Not enough room for Tate Humboldt to make a play. He's fast. He's not that fast. So 3-2 now the count. A payoff pitch coming from Breck Hershoff to Nate Briggs. Hershoff's going to step off quickly and regather. Keeping an eye on Rylance over there on first base. Here comes the pitch. That one swung on and missed. And the Post 74 Bandits out of the inning. 1 base runner on a hit by pitch. But that's going to do it for the top of the first. We'll go to the bottom of 1 with the Bandits coming up to bat for the first time. Scoreless here in this round. The Watertown Post 17 team playing against the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. Post 74 on the way to bat. Coming up next, you're watching the 2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
What's your big picture?
To actually have savings in my savings.
To pay at the pump.
To make life easier.
To spend less. Wait,
to make more.
If making the most of your time and money is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has you covered with award-winning customer service and local experts.
To keep having fun.
Oh, to keep up with her.
Find out how First Bank & Trust helps you bank easier at bankeasy.com.
Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. Over the last few years, we've all purchased big-ticket items that are starting to collect dust. RVs, campers, motorcycles, side-by-sides, firearms, snowmobiles. We'll take anything in on trade. We will buy out your lease or loan with no penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clean out your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of our record inventory. Always open at brookingsautomall.com.
South Dakota American Legion State Class A baseball tournament here on KYNTV. Scoreless after the top half of the first inning. The Brookings Post 74 Bandits coming up to bat here. And we led off by Tate Helmbolt, the left fielder in today's game. He'll be the first one to come up to bat. We appreciate you joining us. Again, want to say thanks to the Friends of Brookings Baseball for their accommodations here at Bob Shelden Field. Beautiful Bob Shelden Field in Brookings, allowing us to cover the state tournament for you. And thanks to the sponsors of this tournament, First Bank & Trust, Brookings Auto Mall, and Hampton Inn and Suites. And, of course, to you for viewing the tournament here on KYNTV for the second straight year. Pitching for Watertown, number 12, Will Engstrom, as Tate Helmbolt strides into the batter's box. Tate was 1 for 3 with a walk in yesterday's win against Brandon Valley, 3-0. And that first pitch is going to be off the mark for a ball. Ball 1, 1-0 the count. The pitch from Engstrom hit to the third base side and played. And over there for the out from Hayden Reese to Nash Berg for the first out of the ball game for Watertown on defense. It's going to bring up Breck Hershoff, the pitcher. Again, had a good tournament on defense. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be well outside, a 1-0 count. Breck Hershoff facing Will Engstrom, pitcher for Watertown. There's the pitch. That one's going to be high, ball 2, 2-0 the count. Again, Watertown 3-1 in the 4-game series against Brookings this year. That one sharply hit into left field. It's going to be a base hit for Breck Hershoff. He is going to be the first runner of the game for the Brookings Post 74 Bandits. Owen Schneider now coming up. Third baseman today has played short a couple of games and played well in the field as well. Over 2 and an RBI yesterday against Brandon Valley. Quick mound visit. Very quick mound visit. As the catcher, Caden Rylance, will come on back to the plate.
Now batting for the Bandits is number 9, third baseman Owen Schneider.
So Owen Schneider will have his chance. Try to move over Hershoff. That first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Brookings has had pretty active bats throughout the state tournament here. That one in for a strike. Even if they're not hitting, they're generally fouling a lot of balls off. 1-1 the count. Engstrom keeping an eye on Hershoff at first base. And there's the pitch. It's going to be low for a ball. 2-1. Center fielder Dylan Rodden shading a little toward left field. Throw over to first. Bounces. Can't be handled. by Nash Berg. That one hit sharply down the third base line. It is in there. It's over the third base pad, and it's fair. And rounding third is Hershoff. He's going to come home. It's going to be an RBI double for Owen Schneider. And the Bandits lead early, 1-0. That went right over the third base pad. No chance for Hayden Reese to get to it. Zach Struck, the cleanup man, now up with 1 on and 1 out. Runner in scoring position on second base. That's Owen Schneider, who just hit the RBI double. Pitch is a breaking ball for a strike. That one had a lot of movement on it. 0-1 to Struck. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Struck's down 0-2 in the count. Engstrom trying to rebound from that RBI double. Owen Schneider just smoked down the left field line over third base. That one's going to be outside. Good eye for Zach Struck. 1-2 the count. Nolan Miles set to come up next. Comes the pitch, and it is hit into opposite field. It's going to be a base hit for Struck, and staying at third is going to be Owen Schneider. So the runner's on the corners with just 1 out for the Bandits here in the bottom rather of the second, or bottom rather of the first. And they lead 1-0. Now stepping up now, Nolan Miles, the second baseman, batting in the 5 spot here, trying to drive in another run with runners on the corner and 1 down. Comes the pitch. It's outside and high. 1-0 the count. Nolan Miles was 0 for 1 with a walk and scored a run against Brandon Valley yesterday in that 3-0 win. The pitch, and it's going to be high and inside. No good, and they've got the runner Struck now in a run down. And he's going to get back to first. Nice job on third by Owen Schneider, cheating down the line and keeping them honest. And he helps his teammate, Zach Struck, get back to first base as Zach got himself caught out there. And he'll be back safely to first. Big play for the Bandits to keep both runs alive here with just an out and runners on the corners. Nolan Miles with a 2-0 count. There's the pitch. It's over for a strike, 2-1. Miles was taking the whole way there. Pitch, it's going to be outside for ball 3, 3-1. To Nolan Miles with runners on the corners. Schneider 90 feet away from another run for the Bandits. Pitch, and it is swung on, hit to center field. Be a tag-up situation. Schneider's going to, and he drops it in the outfield. Center fielder Dylan Rodden just dropped the fly ball. So that is going to be a score. Owen Schneider runs across home plate. Struck to second base. And Nolan Miles to first on the dropped fly ball for Dylan Rodden. So an error puts Miles on base. Addison Ronning now stepping to the plate. Playing first base today. Trying to keep this rolling for the Bandits. Still just 1 out. Comes the pitch. That one's going to be outside and low for ball 1. Ronning was 0 for 1. He walked and scored a run. And that 3-0 win against Brandon Valley. the previous game. And the pitch is going to be on the inside corner, and then stealing third is going to be Struck. Just took everybody by surprise. He's going to be 90 feet away now with just one out. Runners on the corners again with one out. 1-1 the count to Addison Ronning. Looking over to third base coach and acting manager, Alec Johnson, because Carter Roach was ejected for the tournament after arguing with the umps after a controversial call. And they're lost to Renner. Here comes Ronning. Here comes the pitch to Ronning, and it's fouled off right back at the netting behind home plate. One, two, the count for Ronning. Ronning looking at the umpire, talking to Johnny Kirshner, the home plate umpire. Comes the pitch. It's going to be hit to third and picked up and taken over to first for an out, but in the process, Zach Struck scores from third base, and the Bandits' lead grows.
RBI for Ronning on the ground now. Now batting the right field.
Two down now.
Jack Merritt.
Jack Merritt steps up. 3-0 Bandits. And quickly stepping off, and an awkward throw back to second base from the pitcher Will Engstrom. Nice job by Trayton Hemrick for keeping that from going into the outfield. Had to go all the way to the dirt to do so. Jack Merritt is going to watch the first one go by for a ball. 1-0 the count, two down. Another runner in scoring position for the Bandits. They lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. And one error in center field. That's a swing and a foul tip for Jack Merritt. 1-1 going to be the count. Jack did not play yesterday. He's fresh today. Walks over and gets some instruction from Alec Johnson from the third base coaching box. And pitcher Will Engstrom and catcher Caden Rylance have a quick conversation as well. Jack Merritt back in the box here with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch, and it is well outside, 2-1. Bandits getting 3 runs here in the bottom of the first. A little help from the fielding. An error out in center field, a dropped fly ball. Pitch, it's going to be high. And 3-0 the count. 3-1 the count, excuse me. Had 2 balls since it was 1-1. So Engstrom looks in. Quick eye on second base, and that one's going to be a ball. Ball 4. And Jack Merritt, good eye, is going to be on first base with a base on balls, and that's going to bring up Austin Clark playing center field. He's pitched and played right as well in the state tournament. And now we're going to get a mound visit for Watertown. Say thanks to one of our sponsors here, First Bank and Trust. They are proud to support the 2024 American Legion State Tournament and wish the best of luck to all the competing athletes. Find out how First Bank and Trust helps you bank easier at bankeasy.com or visit them at 520 6th Street right here in Brookings. Home plate umpire Johnny Kirshner starting to inch his way toward the mound visit. Going to put an end to this here, saying we gotta get back to play here pretty soon, fellas. Don't let him just stand out there forever. And once he's out there, the players are like, we don't want him to be a part of this conversation. Let's get out of here. So Watertown back to their respective defensive positions. Austin Clark back in the box. Merritt on second and Ronning on second, Merritt on first. It's a high pitch, ball one to Austin Clark. 1-0 the count. Clark awaits the 1-0 pitch. And now it's 2-0. Austin was 0 for 2 against Brandon Valley yesterday. Trying to get a hit and move the runners, possibly score another one here for the Bandits in the bottom of the first inning, leading 3-0. Pitch from Engstrom. That one's going to be outside, 3-0. Engstrom does not want to put him on base on balls and load these up. The Bandits, who have gotten a little rally going here in the bottom of the first. That one's over for strike number 1. 3-1, and you could tell that Clark was taking the whole way. Pitch and swung on and taken towards short. And bothering the shortstop, running was Ronning. Excuse me, that is Nolan Miles, and it's going to go through the shortstop's wickets and into the outfield. And Miles comes around to score. Heads up play by the base runner, Miles, who just kind of held up, jumped over the ball as to obscure it from the shortstop for Watertown, Nate Briggs, and it worked. Another error for Watertown and another run for Brookings. 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. Sam Johnson, the catcher, in the 9 spot, up to bat for the first time today. He'll hit one towards short as well, and that one's going to be taken, but they're a little bit of trouble, and it's run out by Sam Johnson. As shortstop Nate Briggs and third baseman Hayden Reese got a little crossed up with each other, and that hindered the throw just enough to give Sam Johnson enough time to get over there safe. And so the bases loaded for Brookings. They lead 4-0 already. There are 2 out. Back to the top of the order here in the bottom of the first inning. Tate Helmbolt at the plate. And the first pitch is a ball 1. Second pitch swung on, taken up, center field, right by second base. 1 run is in, and that is going to be it as the third base remains occupied by Austin Clark. And coming across the plate for Brookings was Jack Merritt. 5-0 Brookings here in the bottom of the first. Helmbolt now 1 for 2 with that hit and an RBI. And we're going to get a mound visit for Watertown. We may get a quick change here early on. It looks like we will get a quick change. With the pitcher's change, we will take a break. 5-0, bottom of the first with 2 outs for Brookings and Watertown. You're listening to and watching the South Dakota American Legion Class A baseball tournament on KYNTV.
Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. Over the last few years, we've all purchased big-ticket items that are starting to collect dust. RVs, campers, motorcycles, side-by-sides, firearms, snowmobiles. We'll take anything in on trade. We will buy out your lease or loan with no penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clean out your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of our record inventory. Always open at brookingsautomall.com.
What's your big picture?
To fix my fixer-upper.
To be done renting.
To make more room.
If a great home is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust can help you navigate buying, building, or remodeling with local mortgage experts who make it easy.
To give Hazel a big backyard.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes home buying easier at bankeasy.com.
So the relief pitcher is going to be number 22, Marcus Pitking, for Watertown, as Brookings chases Will Engstrom early here. 5 runs in the bottom of the first. In all fairness, not all his fault. He's had a couple of errors on the defense here that have helped him out. A drop ball in center field and a missed grounder at shortstop to help Brookings score a couple of runs. One of those would have scored anyway on a tag up, but the other one was just a missed grounder, which caused another run to come in. And Breck Hershoff stepping up. 0-1 the count after taking strike number 1. Engstrom pitches 2/3 of an inning with 5 hits and 5 runs with 1 earned. So again, obviously not entirely his fault. 1-1 the count after a ball. That one in the dirt for ball 2, and a good job by the catcher, Caden Rylance, keeping that in front of him. Got his body in front of it. Keeps it from being a pass ball and possibly another run coming in. Watertown just kind of had to make a change because they are sensing the wheels coming off early here in this one. That one is going to be inside for a ball. 2-1 the count. Marcus Pitking played yesterday. He was 1 for 2 in that loss to Renner. And that was going to be high and inside, and they're going to walk in another run. Nice job by Breck Hershoff, making the new pitcher pitch to him. And Pitking will have a walk in his first faced batter. Austin Clark comes in to score. 6-0 Brookings here in the bottom of the first. Who saw this coming? A lot of baseball left to be played, obviously, but I don't think anybody was guessing either team would be up 6-0 after the first. And the Brookings team not done at the plate. Owen Schneider back up, and he takes ball 1, 1-0, the count. Second pitch taken into left field. That is going to be in for a fair ball. 1 run in, 2 runs in. It is an RBI stand-up double. For Owen Schneider. And 2 RBIs. 8-0 Brookings here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs. Runners on second and third, and Zach Struck coming to the plate. Breck Hershoff. Or rather, Owen Schneider now 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. First pitch to Struck is a strike. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored as well as Struck already in today's game. That one hit and fouled off. Brookings pouring it on here in the bottom of the first. They've gotten help again from the defense of Watertown. A couple of errors that have cost Watertown big here in the first inning. There's the pitch, and it is swung on and taken to third base. And back to make the play, and a low throw from the third baseman over to first from Hayden Reese. Can't be handled by the first baseman, Nashberg, and another run comes in. Another 2 runs come in, rather, as the pass ball goes to the fence, and it is going to be 10-0 Brookings here in the bottom of the first inning. Yikes.
Number 2, second baseman, Nolan Miles.
Nolan Miles back at the plate. Struck on first. Nolan hits it high. Going to be a shallow fly ball in the infield here. And it's going to be taken by the second baseman for Watertown, Trayton Hemrick, and that one was trouble. Sun must be giving him issues out there. But the Brookings post 74 Bandits take advantage 10-0 after 1 inning. We'll head to the top of the second. Watertown coming to the plate and try to stem some of this bleeding here. And they will be at bat when we come back. 2024's South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament is on KYNTV.
Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Buick Encore. 0 first payment. 0 deposit. 0 down payment. That's right. Sign and drive for $379 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutomall.com. Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. 4-wheel drive. LT with all the extras. $999 down, $489 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutomall.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep our main streets thriving.
To help end hunger.
To provide hospitality beyond expectation.
To remain an industry leader.
If business success is in your big picture, First Bank and Trust simplifies banking so you can stay focused on what matters most.
To keep vets all over the world looking this good.
Find out how First Bank and Trust makes growing your business easier at bankeasy.com.
Back here on the 2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV. Stepping in to bat for Watertown is going to be Nash Berg, first baseman. It's 10-0. Brookings with the lead. Kershaw brings it in, foul tip. Berg is first at bat of the game here. And that one's going to be outside for a ball, 1-1 the count. Pitch, and it is fouled down the first baseline side. One and two. Bandits just a deluge of runs in that bottom half of the first inning. 10-0 they lead. That's hit to first base, and it's going to be bobbled and then picked up and scooped over to the pitcher from Ronning, to Breck Hershaw for the out. Well, bobbled it, but was able to right the ship enough and get it over to Hershaw for out number one over the top of the second inning here.
Designated hitter number 7, Marcus Rabine.
Marcus Rabine, the DH, first at bat of the game, went 0 for 1 with a walk that lost to Renner. And he tries to bunt but took off, unable to get the bat on it as he took off running down first base before the pitch was to him. So an 0-1 count. Comes the pitch. That one's going to be high and a ball. 1-1. Rabine was 0 for 1 with a walk in that game yesterday, as I mentioned. Looking for a hit to get Watertown going today as they need it. They trail big, 10-0 here in the top of the second inning. It's a ball, 2-1. And that's going to be a high fly ball out to center field. And it's going to be taken and put out easily for Brookings there. Austin Clark.
14, right fielder, Talon Juergens.
Talon Juergens stepping up to the plate now. 1 for 2 in yesterday's loss to Renner. And 2 outs, nobody on. That one's going to be outside for a ball, 1-0. And there's a high fly ball right side behind the home plate. Will Johnson have a play? Looks like he will not. It'll be just on the other side of the net. And a mob of kids trying to pick up the ball so they can get their 50-cent reward at the concession stand or a bag of popcorn, whichever they choose. This early, probably go with the popcorn. Comes the pitch outside, low. It's going to be swung on and missed. 2-2 the count. As Hershaw smoked one past him. It might have been out of the zone. Pitch, that one swung on and missed. And Talon Jurgen's going to go down swinging. 3 up, 3 down for Watertown. They didn't get any back. And they're going to need to get to work pretty quick on some runs as they trail 10-0 after 1.5. Brookings coming back to bat. When we return, you're listening to and watching the South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. Over the last few years, we've all purchased big-ticket items that are starting to collect dust. RVs, campers, motorcycles, side-by-sides, firearms, snowmobiles. We'll take anything in on trade. We will buy out your lease or loan with no penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clean out your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of our record inventory. Always open at brookingsautomall.com.
What's your big picture?
To fix my fixer-upper.
To be done renting.
To make more room.
If a great home is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust can help you navigate buying, building, or remodeling with local mortgage experts who make it easy.
To give Hazel a big backyard.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes home buying easier at bankeasy.com.
Bottom of the second momentarily, and Brookings with a huge lead, 10-0 here against Watertown. In the first inning, they got 10 runs, and Watertown just could not help themselves get off the field. And a dropped fly ball out there in center field by Dylan Rawdon. And then the shortstop, Nate Briggs, had an issue with the ball with the runner playing with him a little bit, obscuring the ground ball. Just could not get that third out. Brookings coming back up and seeing if they can add to this. I promise you they're not feeling sorry for Watertown in this situation. Addison Ronning back up there. He is 0 for 1. Did get an RBI. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Pitcher again, Marcus Pitking, on in relief for Will Engstrom. 2-0 the count after 2 straight balls to Addison Ronning. One on the inside corner. Oh, I thought he was going for the strike call. He laid off it. 3-0 the count. I apologize. Johnny Kirshner threw me for a curveball there. Give the posture like he was about to give the sign. That one is low and going to be a 4-pitch walk for Addison Ronning from Marcus Pitking. Now coming up is going to be Jack Merritt. He's 0 for 1. And a walk and scored a run so far on a busy scorecard for Brookings. That one's over for a strike. 0-1 the count. And that one's going to be hit in the infield, taken by the third baseman. Could be a double play ball, and they got the 5-4-3 double play. Nice play over there on the corner by third baseman Hayden Reese. Took it around the horn for 2 outs. So now Austin Clark going to be up again. He's 0 for 1. Did score a run. That one in for a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch for Clark going to be fouled off, out of play. 0-2 the count. This pitching in the game where they gave up just the 1 run on the hit by pitch with the bases loaded. He was frustrated with himself. That one fouled off as well. competitive young guy. Know that from calling basketball games he plays during the basketball season, during his career. That one's going to be a ball. Good eye for Clark. 1-2 the count. Trying to keep this inning alive. Nobody on. It's going to be over, and he's caught looking as Austin Clark, and he's frustrated by the call, but it is going to be a called third strike. It's going to do it for the Bandits in the bottom of the second. Through 2, Bandits lead 10-0 over Watertown. And Watertown up to bat when we return in the top of the third. It's the South Dakota American Legion State Class A baseball tournament on KYNTV.
Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Buick Encore. 0 first payment. 0 deposit. 0 down payment. That's right. Sign and drive for $379 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com. Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. 4-wheel drive. LT with all the extras. $999 down, $489 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep our main streets thriving.
To help end hunger.
To provide hospitality beyond expectation.
To remain an industry leader.
If business success is in your big picture, First Bank and Trust simplifies banking so you can stay focused on what matters most.
To keep vets all over the world looking this good.
Find out how First Bank and Trust makes growing your business easier at bankeasy.com.
2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A baseball tournament. 10-0, Brookings with the lead as we head to the top of the third with Watertown back at the plate. And number 9, second baseman Trayton Hemrick up. Trying to get things started here for Watertown. Going to be fouled off over the crow's nest or the press box here at Bob Shelden Field. We appreciate you joining us here on KYNTV. Pitch is going to be outside for a ball. 1-1 now the count. Hit sharply into center. And coming in, diving forward for the play, Austin Clark making an absolutely beautiful grab. Coming in hard from center field. And it's a putout here. In the top of the third inning, what a beautiful grab for Austin Clark. Wow. Make him feel a little better after the watched third strike in the previous half inning for the third out. That one fouled, out of play. Right field side. There's the pitch, and another one fouled off. Dylan Rodden, the batter. First at bat of the ball game. One hit into center, being chased down by Austin Clark. That one looked easy after the previous one. Still a tough play. He had to cover a lot of ground, ranging to his left. Catches it in left center, or rather right center for the out. And it's going to be 2 down. Both put out by Austin Clark in center field. Coming up to bat, Hayden Reese.
Third baseman number 2, Hayden Reese.
Is 0 for 1. The pitch, that one's going to be in for a strike. 0-1. Nobody on. 2 down, thanks to Austin Clark out there in center field. Made a beautiful grab, hustling in from center field on the first hit and ranging to his left, covered a lot of ground and had a markedly easier time with that second one. Still a tough play. It's the pitch. It's going to be in there for strike 3, and that's going to be the final out of the inning. We will head to the bottom of 3. Watertown and Brookings. Brookings post 74. The Bandits leading 10-0 as we head to the bottom of the third, and they're coming back to the plate. You're watching the South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. Over the last few years, we've all purchased big-ticket items that are starting to collect dust. RVs, campers, motorcycles, side-by-sides, firearms, snowmobiles. We'll take anything in on trade. We will buy out your lease or loan with no penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clean out your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of our record inventory. Always open at brookingsautomall.com.
What's your big picture?
To fix my fixer-upper.
To be done renting.
To make more room.
If a great home is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust can help you navigate buying, building, or remodeling with local mortgage experts who make it easy.
To give Hazel a big backyard.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes home buying easier at bankeasy.com.
State A baseball tournament for American Legion here on KYN-TV. Sam Johnson going to be the leadoff man for Brookings to start this bottom of the third. Alan Johnson hustling over to third base to get in the box there, running a little behind schedule. This bottom half of the third here. The pitch, high fly ball from Johnson. Heading out to center field, and coming in to make the catch is going to be Dylan Rodden. Don't have any problem with that one. Lost his hat and everything. Put that one out, and did have the error in the top, or rather the bottom of the first inning. I keep saying the top because Brookings has played the top of the innings in the other games because they were the lower seed. Now they flipped the coin in this round to see who got which half of the inning. Comes the pitch, and it is going to be low for a ball to Tate Helmbolt. We're back to the top of the order. We're post 74, 1-0 the count. 90 degrees in Brookings, heat index 95. That one inside on a pass ball. The 2-0 count. Bolt is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. And that pitch is going to be off the mark for a third ball. 3 straight balls for Pitt King against Helmbolt here. One going to be in there for a strike on the inside corner. 3-1 the count as Helmbolt was taking. It's going to be inside and in the dirt. And it's going to be a walk, a base on balls for Tate Helmbolt. Breck Hershoff is not long for Brookings. He's leaving. In 2 weeks from today, he'll be heading to North Richmond Hills in Texas. He'll be playing for the Lone Star Brahmas. That's hockey, for those who might not know. It's going to be a low pitch. 1-0 the count. I'll show you what kind of athlete he is. Stuck around just for baseball, as it was a commitment for him. That one in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Trouble with the exchange from the catcher back to the pitcher, but chasing it down is Pitt King, and he'll bring it back to the mound. Comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the right field line, just off the first base pad. Going to be just foul. So 1-2 going to be the count. Runner on first, and 1 out for the Bandits here in the bottom of the third inning, leading 10-0. Jumped out big in the bottom of the first with all 10 of their runs so far. It's going to be high for a ball, 2-2. Good at bat for Hershoff. Getting a quick glance over to first base. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be slapped over to third base. Taken, and the lead runner out. Double play ball will not work as Hershoff too fast and runs that one out. So the lead man out, and it'll be the second out of the inning. For the grounder play by Hayden Reese over there at third base.
Third baseman number 9, Owen Schneider.
Here's the pitch. It's high and a ball. Owen Schneider. Schneider is 2 for 2. 3 RBIs, and he's scored 2 runs. Making a case for player of the game. Going in for now a 1-1 count. Pitch, that one's going to be low and a ball, and coming up and just holding on to it, not throwing it. He's catcher Caden Rylance. The way things have been going, that might have just been a good decision to hang on to it for Watertown. Keep it simple. And the pitch is going to be off the mark, a 3-1 count. Owen Schneider, a keen-eyed at bat. There we go, and there's a foul tip out of the glove of the catcher, so it will. There will remain a chance for Schneider to come up with a hit here. It's to Breck Hershoff's aunt, Cammie Powers, for filling me in on all this information, this background on Breck Hershoff. She's a proud aunt. Watching at home. There's a hard hit ball to left center, and chasing it down, making an unbelievable catch, Dylan Rawden, who dropped a routine fly ball earlier in the game. Makes a great catch there, ranging to his right and diving to the turf as he catches the baseball. That is going to do it for the bottom of the third for Brookings. It is a 10-0 lead for Brookings, and Watertown coming back to bat in the top of the fourth. When we return, you're watching the South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Buick Encore. 0 first payment. 0 deposit. 0 down payment. That's right. Sign and drive for $379 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com. Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. 4-wheel drive. LT with all the extras. $999 down, $489 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep our main streets thriving.
To help end hunger.
To provide hospitality beyond expectation.
To remain an industry leader.
If business success is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust simplifies banking so you can stay focused on what matters most.
To keep vets all over the world looking this good.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes growing your business easier at bankeasy.com.
Watertown coming back to the plate, again trailing big, 10-0 here, and as we head into the top of the fourth inning. Got some work to do. Coming up is going to be Mitch Olson. Be the first batter for Watertown as they try to get something going here, trailing big against this Brookings Post 74 Bandits team. He's 0 for 1 is Mitch Olson. Up to this point of the ball game. Top of 4. 10-0. Breck Hershoff remains on the mound for Brookings. He's looked good out there. There's the pitch, and swung on and missed by Olson. Hershoff up quickly in the count here, 0-1. This one was 1 for 3 in that loss to Renner. This one fouled off and going to be out of play behind the Watertown dugout. Oh, 2 the count. From Hershoff to Olson. There's the pitch, and it's fouled off, and Olson stays alive. Fouled off to the dugout. Brookings. Heck of a play by Alec Johnson, showing some hustle over there. On the hop, Alec. The pitch is going to be inside almost. Caught Olson. He had to maneuver out of the way. 1-2 the count. The pitch, it's going to be on the outside corner for a called strike 3, and Olson does not agree with it. But Johnny Kirshner says, you're out. First out of the inning for the Bandits.
Catcher number 16, Caden Rylance.
Caden Rylance coming up now. The catcher. And he's going to hit it sharply, and it's almost taken by the third baseman, Owen Schneider, but it pops out of the glove. And it's going to squirm free, and it'll be a single, or well, we'll see if they'll probably call that an error as it came out of the glove. But it was so hard hit that I wouldn't fault him either way, I guess. But Caden Rylance on first base. In any case, Nate Briggs now coming up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Trying to move his teammate over. Going to be hit to shortstop. Struck, ranges, backhands it. He muffs it twice. So now the Bandits trying to give some help back on the defensive side, as they got help early from Watertown. Made a couple of errors here in the top of the 4th to give up some base runners for Watertown. Nashberg, first baseman, steps in, the lefty. Is 0 for 1. First pitch in there for a strike. It is an 0-1 count. Hershoff looking in. An eye on the second base. That one high for ball 1, 1-1. And we're going to get a mound visit from Sam Johnson quickly. It's going to get something straight with a runner on second, maybe switching up the signs. Not sure what that was about. Hershoff, quick look to second, looks back, here comes the pitch. And that was going to be on the outside corner for strike 2, 1-2 the count to Berg. Pitch, and it's going to be off the mark, just a little high. 2-2 the count. 1 out, 2 on for Watertown. Runners on first and second. They've got one in scoring position. One's going to be swung on right back to the pitcher, and he can't handle it. Backhanded, though, and a heck of a play at second base. It's not going to be an out, but it's going to save a run. Nolan Miles backhanded that deep behind second base. The ball was out behind him. Somehow he came up with that. He gloved it and kept a run from scoring. Play could loom large, as we've got runners safe on all 3 bases. And up now is Marcus Rabine. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Rabine 0-1 today. 0-4-1, that is. Pitch swung on and missed by Rabine. It is a 1-1 count. Schaff does not look hurried. He's very calm. The pitch, and it's back to the pitcher again. This time going to be grabbed by Struck as he's coming up and throwing on the run, and he'll get the out. They will give up the run, get the second out. So the first run of the ball game for Watertown, and you hear the Watertown crowd showing their appreciation for Watertown getting on the board. First run for post 17 here. 10-1 is the score. Talon Jurgens, the right fielder, coming up to bat. The pitch, and that one's going to come over for a strike. 0-1. Jurgens 0-4-1 on the day. Comes the pitch. That one's going to be high and outside. Ball one. 1-1. Brought the heat there. Almost came out of his spikes. Letting that one go. Comes the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Talon Jurgens, the count 1-2. Comes the pitch, swung on and missed, and a strikeout. Swinging will end the inning for Watertown. They do get one back. They've still got some work to do. They trail 10-1. To Brookings. The Bandits coming back up to bat in the bottom of the fourth. When we return, you're watching the South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. Over the last few years, we've all purchased big-ticket items that are starting to collect dust. RVs, campers, motorcycles, side-by-sides, firearms, snowmobiles. We'll take anything in on trade. We will buy out your lease or loan with no penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clean out your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of our record inventory. Always open at brookingsautomall.com.
What's your big picture?
To fix my fixer-upper.
To be done renting.
To make more room.
If a great home is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust can help you navigate buying, building, or remodeling with local mortgage experts who make it easy.
To give Hazel a big backyard.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes home buying easier at bankeasy.com.
South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV. We appreciate you joining us. I'm going to take a moment and say a special thanks to friends of Brookings Baseball for their accommodations here at beautiful Bob Shelden Field in Brookings so we can cover the state tournament. And say thanks to our sponsors, First Bank & Trust, Brookings Auto Mall, and Hampton Inn and Suites of Brookings. And, of course, to you for watching the tournament on KYNTV for the second straight year. Zach Struck back up to bat for Brookings. He is 1 for 2. He's scored a run. And that ball sounded a lot worse than it was. A ball into the backstop. Near our mic down there. Like I have any ownership of it. Near the KYNTV mic. I feel like I'm part of the team now. That pitch is high and ball two, thanks to Bryce Ladwig and the gang here. Welcome to me in this week. – 2-0 to Struck. That one's going to be inside, ball three. (10-1) Brookings. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be on the inside corner for a strike as Struck was taking the whole way there. Now he'll look for one. That one's going to be on the outside corner for a strike as Pit King has worked the count back full after falling down 3-0. Swung on and fouled off. It's going to be out of play, right side. Zach Struck again playing with many stitches above his left eye after getting hit. A 1 in a million shot by a foul ball the other day. And this one's going to be hit high into the outfield. And it's going to be played by right fielder Talon Jurgens for the first out. Nolan Miles back in to bat. 0 for 1. With an RBI, he scored a run as well. Here's the inside and high pitch for ball 1. 1-0 to Miles. Swung on, foul tipped, and off of the mask or helmet, it sounded like. The catcher, Caden Rylance. Like he's all right. Well, some people watch and think, oh, they got so much gear, it doesn't hurt. It still does. It can be jarring when you get hit in the helmet, for sure. It's going to be over for a strike. 1-2 the count. And that one inside, he almost fought it off for his own personal safety. Miles is going to have to try to run it out. Nice play, hustling out by the catcher, Caden Rylance, and he'll get the out. So 2 down now for the Bandits in the bottom of the 4th, leading 10-1. Addison Ronning coming back up. 0 for 1 with an RBI. He's walked as well. First pitch of ball, 1-0. Pitking has pitched 2 2/3 now, giving up a hit, 2 runs, and 1 strikeout. That one in for a strike, 1-1. The pitch, it's low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Beautiful, partly cloudy sky here in Brookings. 90 degrees, heat index at 95. Water has been vital. 3-1 the count. Water and Mountain Dew Zero, that is, for some of us. And that one's off the mark. Going to be a walk. Base on balls for Addison Ronning. Into the plate is going to be Jack Merritt, right fielder. 2 down, 1 on for Brookings. Jack Merritt steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1, has scored a run and has walked. As Merritt. Keeping an eye on first is Pitking. And that pitch in for a strike against Jack Merritt. 0-1. Running off of first. Now it's hit toward the hole. Going to be taken by the third baseman, ranging to his left, and makes the play on the run does Hayden Reese, and ends the inning. Nice play by the third baseman over there, Hayden Reese. It's going to do it for the bottom of the 4th. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Watertown still has a good stretch of work ahead of them. They trail by 9, 10-1, as they come up in the top of the 5th inning. When we return, it is the South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Buick Encore. 0 first payment. 0 deposit. 0 down payment. That's right. Sign and drive for $379 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com. Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. 4-wheel drive. LT with all the extras. $999 down, $489 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep our main streets thriving.
To help end hunger.
To provide hospitality beyond expectation.
To remain an industry leader.
If business success is in your big picture, First Bank and Trust simplifies banking so you can stay focused on what matters most.
To keep vets all over the world looking this good.
Find out how First Bank and Trust makes growing your business easier at bankeasy.com.
2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A baseball tournament from Bob Shelden Field in Brookings here on KYNTV. Appreciate you joining us. I am Barry Hein. Watertown up to bat here in the top of the fifth momentarily. Try to get some runs back. They trail 10-1 as we head to the top of 5. Coming up to bat for Watertown, Trayton Hemrick. And he'll face Breck Hershoff. That one's going to curve in for a strike for Hershoff. Nice pitch. Hemrick's 0 for 1 today. Just 1 hit so far for Watertown. That one's going to be outside. Nice stab by Sam Johnson. Nobody on, but got to be sharp for when you've got base runners. Glove to that one. 1-1 the count. He's going to curve in for a strike as well. Beautiful pitch. These strikes in this at-bat have been carbon copies of each other. The 1-2 pitch. That one almost curved and got the inside corner. You can sense Hershoff feeling like he's got command of that pitch right now. Here's the pitch. That one inside. It's going to be driven into left center for a single. Nice piece of batting for Trayton Hemrick as he's got his first hit of the ball game. And the leadoff runner on for Watertown. That is what they need. And stepping to the plate, Dylan Rodden. So second hit of the game for Watertown. Got their leadoff man on. That pitch is going to be outside for a ball. Rodden 0 for 1 on the day. We're going to get a timeout here. Well, looks like we're kind of a mini timeout. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be off the mark. 2-0. Pitch, it's going to be on the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 now the count. Hershoff has looked sharp from the bump today. And up just those 2 hits. And that one's going to be outside for ball 3. 3-1. Shadow creeping up near home plate early today here. Got the hit down third base line. Schneider picks it up, gets the out at second. The double play will not happen as it's run out. So they do get the first out of the inning, but are unable to turn 2, are the Bandits. So 1 out, 1 on first. And up to bat is going to be Hayden Reese, the leadoff man, third baseman. Throw over to first, not in time. Pitch, and it's hit into the hole between third and short. Reese has his first hit of the afternoon. He's now 1 for 3. He's got Watertown looking like they might be in a little bit of business here. 1 out, 2 on, a runner in scoring position. And Mitch Olson, left fielder, coming to the plate. is 0 for 2. Pitch is hit sharply. It's knocked down by the first baseman, Ronnie. Can't handle it. Chased down by the second baseman. And that is Nolan Miles. He's going to pick it up and throw it over to first for an out. They've got the second out. Runners advance. So 2 down. Runners on second and third now for Watertown. Coming up is going to be Caden Rylance, the catcher. 0 for 1 with a run scored. He's got the lone run for Watertown. Trying to knock in another one, possibly 2 if he can put one in the gap. It's going to be over for a strike for Breck Hershoff. Hershoff is now pitched 4 1/3, giving up 3 hits, giving up a run, and struck out 5. That one hit sharply to the outfield. Going to be chased down by Austin Clark. Another nice play for Austin out there in center field as he chases one down in left center. That will do it as the Bandits keep Watertown off the board. They lead 10-1 as we head to the bottom of 5. The Bandits coming back up to bat. It's the South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Turn your clutter into cash right now at Brookings Auto Mall. Over the last few years, we've all purchased big-ticket items that are starting to collect dust. RVs, campers, motorcycles, side-by-sides, firearms, snowmobiles. We'll take anything in on trade. We will buy out your lease or loan with no penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clean out your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of our record inventory. Always open at brookingsautomall.com.
What's your big picture?
To fix my fixer-upper.
To be done renting.
To make more room.
If a great home is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust can help you navigate buying, building, or remodeling with local mortgage experts who make it easy.
To give Hazel a big backyard.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes home buying easier at bankeasy.com.
Bottom of 5 here from Bob Shelden Field in Brookings, the 2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament. 10-1, Brookings with the big lead here and looking to move on to tomorrow. Game after this one is going to be Harrisburg Gold and Renner. That's technically a look at our bracket. And that is brought to you by Hampton Inn & Suites by Hilton, located next to I-29, a mile from Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium and the SDSU campus, and a 2-minute drive to conventions and events at the Dakota Bank Center. You can start your day with the free hot breakfast, work from your room with free Wi-Fi, and relax in the indoor pool, all at the Hampton Inn & Suites by Hilton in Brookings, the official state tournament hotel partner. Austin Clark will get things started for Brookings here in the bottom of the 5th. Austin Clark is 0 for 2 with a run scored in today's game. First pitch in there for a ball, 1-0. Comes the pitch, and it's going to be 2-0. Johnny Kirshner gives that delayed strike call once in a while, so you got to give him a second. Sometimes I jump the gun. Comes the pitch. That one's going to be in there for a strike. I heard the hoot that time. 2-1 the count. Marcus Pitking delivers. That one's going to be off the mark. 3-1 count. Bandits lead big. Sure they wouldn't mind adding to it. That one's going to be inside, buzz the tower a little bit. Clark able to stay out of the way, but he'll have first base on a base on balls. Sam Johnson now coming up to the plate. Sam is 1 for 2 with a run scored.
Catcher number 10, Sam Johnson.
Pitkin is pitched 4 innings now. Giving up a hit, allowed 2 runs, and has a strikeout. That one missed. 1-0. Pitch, going to try to bunt it down the first baseline side. Sam Johnson unable to keep it fair. Johnson looking down to Alec Johnson for some signals. Quick throw over to first, not going to be in time. Austin Clark back pretty easily before the tag. One count. There's another bunt try, and it's going to be unable to be kept foul, or fair rather, again, by Sam Johnson. So it'll be a 1-2 count. See if they want to try it again or let him swing away with the 2 strikes. (10-1) Brookings. Bottom of 5. And swung on and missed. Sam Johnson will be down on strikes on the whiff. First out of the inning for Watertown. Tate Helmbolt, the leadoff man, back at the plate. With Austin Clark on first. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. Pitch swung on and missed. Strike 1 to Tate Helmbolt. That one's going to be high, and a steal for Austin Clark as again Caden Rylance decides not to throw the ball down to second. That was the right decision, as he wouldn't have had a shot. Clark got a good jump. So a 1-1 count. Now with a runner in scoring position. Swung on and missed again by Tate Helmbolt. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball. 2-2. Good eye for Tate Helmbolt. Hard one to take when you're down to your second strike. Pitch, and it is a high fly. Going to be backing out of play behind the press box here. So the count remains 2-2. In with the steal, Austin Clark in scoring position for Tate Helmbolt. He's worked to the count even. It's going to be high and inside for ball 3. He's worked it full, and a payoff pitch coming up from Pit King to Helmbolt. Pit King delivers. That one's going to be off the mark. Ball 4, so 2 on for Brookings with 1 out, 1 in scoring position. On second base, Austin Clark. And that brings back up Brett Hershoff. Chance to help add to Brookings' total, leading 10-1 already. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk, 2 runs scored. First pitch in for a strike. 0-1 the count to Hershoff. Pit King keeping an eye on Clark on second. That pitch is Foul chopped behind the catcher. Half swing, and he tipped it off, did Hirschoff, so he'll be down 0-2. Pitch and hit right side by Hirschoff. And be chased down by the second baseman, Trayton Hemrick, for the out. Second out of the inning. Moves the runners over, so the Bandits will have 2 in scoring position, with Owen Schneider coming up to bat.
Number 9, third baseman, Owen.
And he's 2 for 3 on the day, with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. So not the guy you want to see coming up if you're Watertown right now, with 2 runners in scoring position. Hits it deep, sharply to left field. Is it going to stay fair? It is off of the foul pole. Sounded like it, looked like it. It is gone. Home run for Owen Schneider, and the Bandits expand their huge lead. "13-1 Bandits," and you hear the crowd loving it. Owen Schneider on fire today. And that is going to do it, as they are up 13-1, and we're in the bottom of the 5th. So Brookings moves on. What a way to walk it off for the Bandits. 13-1 the final. That is going to do it for this one. Wow. What an exciting finish if you're a Bandits fan, obviously. Holy cow. We're going to take a break. We'll do a quick post game, and they're going to get ready for the nightcap in this one a little bit later. That is going to be Harrisburg Gold and Renner. See who moves on in the winner's bracket. Brookings walks it off with a home run from Owen Schneider, a 3-run shot to left field that hit the foul pole. 13-1 the final. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with a quick post game coming up next. You're watching the 2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.
Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Buick Encore. 0 first payment. 0 deposit. 0 down payment. That's right. Sign and drive for $379 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com. Brookings Auto Mall. New 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. 4-wheel drive. LT with all the extras. $999 down, $489 a month lease. See dealer for details. BrookingsAutoMall.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep our main streets thriving.
To help end hunger.
To provide hospitality beyond expectation.
To remain an industry leader.
If business success is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust simplifies banking so you can stay focused on what matters most.
To keep vets all over the world looking this good.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes growing your business easier at bankeasy.com.
What a fun way to walk it off here for the Brookings Bandits. A home run for Owen Schneider to walk off in the bottom of the 5th. 13-1 the final. And that does it for Watertown in the tournament. A tough way for them to go out. And Brookings moves on. Let's take a look at your post-game stats here. First for the Watertown post-17 team. Will Engstrom pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 5 hits, 8 runs, 1 earned, and then coming on in relief was Marcus Pitkin. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, and struck out 2. For Watertown, Hayden Reese was 1 for 3. Mitch Olson was 0 for 3. Caden Rylance was 0 for 2 with a run scored, the lone run for Watertown. Nate Briggs was 0 for 2. Nash Berg was 1 for 2. Marcus Rabine, was 0 for 2. He did have an RBI. 0 for 2 was Talon Jurgens, Trayton Hemrick was 1 for 2, and Dylan Rodden was 0 for 2 in the game. 3 hits for Watertown on the evening. For Brookings, going the distance, which was only 5 innings for Breck Hershoff. He pitched those 5 innings, gave up just 3 hits, 1 run, none earned, and struck out 5 on the evening, did Breck Hershoff. From the plate, Brookings had 7 hits. Tate Helmbold was 1 for 2. He had an RBI, he walked twice and scored 2 runs as well. Breck Hershoff was 1 for 3, had an RBI, a walk, and scored 2 runs. Owen Schneider was 3 for 4. He had 6 RBIs and scored 3 runs. 3 of those obviously came on the walk-off home run in the bottom of the 5th inning. Zach Struck was 1 for 3. He scored a run. Nolan Miles was 0 for 2, had an RBI and scored a run. Addison Ronning was 0 for 1, had an RBI and 2 walks. Jack Merritt 0 for 2, scored a run. He walked as well. Austin Clark was 0 for 2. He scored 2 runs. He walked on the evening also. Sam Johnson was 1 for 3. He scored a run. Again, 7 hits for this Brookings team. And a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 5th for the Mercy Rule win. 13-1 the final. Owen Schneider knocks one deep to left off of the foul pole and ends this one to send Brookings to tomorrow and send Watertown home. Appreciate you joining us all week long for the South Dakota American Legion State Class A baseball tournament here on KYNTV. I want to say a final thanks to some of our sponsors here. A special thanks to Friends of Brookings Baseball for their accommodations at Bob Shelden Field and allowing us to cover this state tournament. I want to say thanks to you for viewing the tournament here on KYNTV for the 2nd straight year. And I want to say thanks to the crew who's been great to me all week. Bryce Ladwig, KYNTV Director and Producer. Tel Tanner, Brayden Butler, and Austin Cottle, on-site technical operators, and stepping in and calling games as well. Appreciate you guys very much. Thanks. It's nice of you to have me. And I want to say thanks to our sponsors as well. Our bracket review and post-game sponsor is Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton, located next to I-29, a mile from Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium and the SDSU campus, and a 2-minute drive to conventions and events at the Dakota Bank Center. You can start your day with a free hot breakfast, work from your room with free Wi-Fi, and relax in the indoor pool. All at the Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton in Brookings, the official state tournament hotel partner. I want to say thanks to First Bank and Trust. They're proud to support the 2024 American Legion State Tournament and wish the best of luck to all the competing athletes. Find out how First Bank and Trust helps you bank easier at bankeasy.com or visit them at 520 6th Street in Brookings. Turn your clutter into cash right now with Brookings Auto Mall. They will take anything in on trade and will buy out your lease or loan without penalties. Putting cash in your pocket has never been easier. Break free from those payments and let Brookings Auto Mall clear your clutter. Visit Brookings Auto Mall today for a quick appraisal and take advantage of their record inventory. They're always open at brookingsautomall.com. That is going to do it for this one. The Brookings Post 74 Bandits move on with a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 5th for the Mercy Rule win. 13-1 the final against Watertown Post 17. And the next game, Harrisburg Gold and Renner, scheduled to start around 7 o'clock, and about a 10-minute pregame just before that right here coming up in just a bit. Appreciate you joining us. You're watching the 2024 South Dakota American Legion State Class A Baseball Tournament on KYNTV.